we have a good partnership with Nanaimo Forest Products. They actually lease us some land and also...
A Nanaimo filmmaker who uses his talent to engage public dialogue over social and environmental issues is close to finishing Voices of the River, a 40-minute film showcasing the raw beauty of the Nanaimo River and all of the demands placed upon it.
We check them every 3-4 days to see how the ripeness of the eggs are going.
This is a documentary about the Nanaimo River, of the watershed, so the whole watershed basin, and it looks at all the different uses and values of the river, and it's an educational component of a planned stewardship model for the river.
Nanaimo Area Land Trust made a commitment over 2 years ago to start a community process towards developing strategies and actions for long-term protection of the river. They asked Paul to make the documentary to help demonstrate the River Stewardship Initiative.
When I was asked to make a film, you know, I jumped at the chance. I thought it was a great idea. I really liked the idea of establishing a stewardship plan for the Nanaimo River. The reason why I got into media in the first place is to try to educate people to work towards a better world. And so that's my focus as a filmmaker. It's environmental issues, social justice issues, and that's the kind of work that I do. And it's not as profitable as doing commercial work, and sometimes it's a real struggle. So that's the reality of what I do, but it's important to me that at the end of the day, what I make, I'm proud of. I'm happy to have my kids watch it. I'm happy to watch it.
And in the case of people in Nanaimo, we're made out of this river water, so how we treat the river says something about how we treat our bodies.
The unfinished version made its debut at the Nanaimo River Symposium held last fall.
That's not something I normally do. I mean, that was the first time I'd seen it all put together. At one time was with an audience of about 200 people, which is kind of a scary thing for a filmmaker. I was, you know, scrambling around editing that whole week and long hours, and so it was very rough when I showed it at the symposium. And
just over 10 years ago, the Land Conservancy bought the last remaining intact riparian area on the lower Nanaimo River, a 56-hectare parcel of old-growth Douglas fir forest, which is now a regional park. TLC is offering charitable tax receipts for donations to finance finalization of the film.
As we became involved in the acquisition for this particular park, we also became aware of the impacts on the river of the logging operation and development up the river. So we've had an interest ever since in trying to find ways to reduce that impact on the river and protect the river for future generations.
It's beautiful down here! Woo-hoo!
In terms of the whole watershed, really what we've needed to do is get an idea of what's there and what the opportunities and threats to the water supply and the river are. And I think that films like the film that's being developed here gives us a very good idea of the extent of the river and the watershed and the extent of the opportunities and problems that are there.
the Nanaimo River is the lifeblood of this community. If we're 70% water, then we are the Nanaimo River. We're all drinking the water, and it's an area we should be concerned about. This is a film that is meant for the community. It's an educational film, and it's not something I'm going to make money off of after it's done. I need to be able to pay the contractors that do the work that I don't do. And so that's the soundtracking, the audio mix and master, and the graphics. I'm hoping that the community sees the value in it and kicks in to help me out.
Individuals contributing over $50 will be immortalized in the credits and receive a copy of the DVD. Businesses can get logo placements in the film for a larger contribution. In Nanaimo, for Shaw TV, I'm Annette Lucas.